What's up, YouTube? I hope all is well with you because everything is fabulous with me. Before I get started, I wanted to tell you guys that I'm actually participating in a Biggest Loser challenge while watching The Biggest Loser. What? Biggest Loser challenge is done by a Facebook weight loss group that I've been a part of for a very, very long time. And a few weeks back, we were divided into several different teams. I am on Team Red. What? Yesterday was our first day to weigh in, and we kicked tail. And I want to give a special shout out to Miss Alberta, who lost 22 pounds in 1 week. Yeah, you heard right. She lost 22 pounds, and she didn't have to have The Biggest Loser in order to do it. So, I want to say congratulations to Alberta, and I want to tell the rest of the red team, let's get it. What have you done today to make you feel proud? First off, I want to give a shout out to my 3 favorite contestants, Mr. Jackson, Miss Alex, and of course the lovely Miss Pam. The fact that they're following me on Twitter has nothing to do with the fact they're my favorite contestants, but it certainly does help. Can I tell you that this episode gave me everything I needed? It was so good. The episode starts off with the white team completely freaking out because, well, there's only 2 of them left. The next thing we see is all of the teams entering into this room. They had all sorts of junk food just all over the place. And then they had a big old TV screen in the middle. And then couches, video games, ping pong machines. And I was just like, what in the world are they going to do in this place? That's when Allie tells them that they're in a room that is common to the everyday American child. And the things that were in the room were elements that contribute to childhood obesity. She then tells them that this was the time that they were going to have a little pop quiz. The team that scored lowest on this pop quiz was going to spend 4.5 hours in this room per day with no workouts until the weigh-in. You know, seriously, I don't know how they come up with such sadistic tactics, but Biggest Loser, they never failed to torture people who are on the show. And it was just basically questions about childhood obesity. And some of the numbers kind of, they shocked me. Did you know that 75% of parents do not know when their children are obese? I think the reason why I'm so surprised with this number is because when I was a kid, I was always identified as the obese one. My parents did not let me forget that I was an overweight child. So to know that other parents are not aware of the conditions of their children is kind of surprising and sad. When it comes to the quiz, the team that won was, of course, the red team. They came in first, and there was a tiebreaker between the blue team and the white team. Thankfully, the white team pulled it out and they were able to win, and the blue team had to sit in this room for 4.5 hours a day, and they were not allowed to work out, which is crazy. Technically, that's something that I do on the weekend, but to be on a competition and to realize that you're wasting such sweet time in this room that's filled with so much junk food, I know that had to drive the blue team crazy. While they were sitting with this food, everyone was like, I don't know how I'm going to sit with this food and not eat it. And then that's when my girl Alex, she came up with a fabulous idea. She got the orange juice and she poured it all over the junk food so that no one would eat it, which is a good thinking on your part, girl. That's why I said she's my favorite. That's why she's going to win. Then they had Bob come in. One thing that I loved is that Bob called out something that I see Jillian do all the time, and that's when she gets overly dramatic about the game changes that happen in The Biggest Loser. I think by the amount of seasons she's done, she would know that there's always these dramatic things that happen, and she wouldn't act as surprised as she does every single time. You know, Bob comes in, and I don't understand why Bob was the last one to find out about what happened, but okay, he was. And then Jillian's just like, oh my God, you will not believe what happened. your team's in this room for 4 hours with no training. My God. She is so dramatic. And I love the fact that Bob called her out on it. He's like, okay, this is my problem. I have no idea why she is so crunk for Jesus. So on the other side, when it comes to the red team and the white team, Dove is kicking the red teams behind and they're doing a good job. And that's when they start focusing on Kate. Kate, when she's doing her workout, she completely breaks down, and Dove asks why she's breaking down. And she's basically breaking down because she's guilty of all the time that she's wasted being overweight and not doing what she needed to do, and basically sitting down and watching life pass her by. I can honestly tell you this is something that I completely relate to. Just like Kate, sometimes I feel that I do sit out and let life pass me by, and I'm feeling bad because I got to the place that I am right now. And it just feels like it was in a blink of an eye. And so to see Kate basically communicating the way that I felt for several years was a little heartbreaking. It was. And I wish that when I came to that revelation that I had a fine, sexy black man telling me it was okay. But unfortunately, I did not have that opportunity, but Kate did. Dove cheered her right up and got her back up so they can do what they needed to do in order to lose the weight. Hey! Francelina, she starts working out with the white team. I really do hope that later on in the season that maybe Francelina may transfer it over. I'm hoping that happens. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I love the fact that Francelina, she was just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to hang out with the white team, see what they're doing, have fun with it. Then it was time for the challenge. That was a hot, buttery mess. The place was set up like a big old carnival, and they had these 2 huge gumball machines. The challenge was that each team was to run across this pool of gum to get to the gumball machine, get a gumball out of the gumball machine, and then take it across this pool of gum and then put it on a bank. The first team to get to 20 won a year's supply of groceries, fresh groceries. You can tell that the Biggest Loser said, look, if we're going to give you some free groceries, you're going to work for it. Because they had to trounce through that gum. It just looked so thick and nasty and gross. I know if I did that challenge, I'll never want to eat gum again. That's for sure. Jackson described it as being some type of lake monster. And I have to agree with them. Everyone was just like, The red team won. They won their year's supply of groceries. Then it was the last chance workout. The red team was on cloud 9. They've won 2 weight lanes in a row. On top of that, they won free groceries for a year. And then there was the blue team. The blue team, of course, they couldn't work out, and so they were in the room. Once the time was over, Bob came in, and he decided, ooh, for a last chance workout, you guys are going to work out in the kids' room. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that sucks so hard. But I mean, it was so predictable. And he's like, I am going to do a workout that the Biggest Loser has never seen. Okay, Bob, sit down. But it was actually a pretty cool concept. He took a deck of cards, and according to the card that he pulled out, that was the amount of a certain exercise they had to do. And they went through the whole entire deck of cards, which it looks tiring, but okay, I guess it was a pretty good idea, Bob. Yay you. Then you see the white team doing their workout. Of course, Danny is kicking butt and taking names as usual. But that last chance workout was all about Pam and Jillian. Best fight ever. Jillian was like, Pam, you can! Pam, you can! And Pam was like, I can't push myself. I can't push through the wall. Sorry, Pam, you know I love you, girl. But I was on Team Jillian with this one. It seemed as if you were defeating yourself before you can actually succeed. But you know what? I have a new dream. I want to go to the Biggest Loser finale. I want to sit front row center. And I don't want to say a word. I don't want to say a damn thing. The only thing that I want to do is hold up a sign that says, okay. Next up was the weigh-in. Da, 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 da. First, the blue team goes. Jeff was the first one to weigh in, and he lost 11 pounds, which I figured was going to happen since he had lost no pounds the week before. So good for you, Jeff. Congratulations. My girl Alex went next. She lost 4 pounds. David went next, and he lost 6 pounds. Mike lost 13 pounds, which is really good. And then little old cute Gina, she lost 8 pounds. Good job, Gina. Then it was the red team. On the red team, Francelina lost 5 pounds, which is good. Joe, which, as usual, I knew he was going to do this. He lost 9 pounds. Excellent job, Joe. Jackson lost 2 pounds, which I was really surprised at. I thought he would lose a little bit more than that. Then Kate comes back up, and she loses 2 pounds. And I'm like, what? And then the coup de grace. Lisa, who's been doing a good job so far, she comes up and she's only lost 2 pounds. And I'm like, oh, what? Then the white team came up and it's only 2 people. So this weigh-in didn't take too long. First, Danny comes up and she loses 6 pounds, which is excellent. Then it was all up to Pam, and homegirl loses a whole whopping 9 pounds, which means the white team is not up for elimination for the first time in a competition. And Pam does the most awesome celebration dance. She gets all red in the face and she's like, wow, wow, what? It was the best dance ever. I lived for that. So unfortunately, the red team is up for elimination, and I had no idea who was going home. Joe could not be voted off because he was the biggest loser of that team, and so they had to vote between 4 other players, which was Kate, Lisa, Jackson, and Francelina. Biggest Loser did the votes a little different this season. They have them vote electronically. I don't know if I like that. I think I liked it better when they would reveal their little plate, when they said, I voted for such and such. Ha! So they all voted, and then unfortunately Kate gets voted out. It made me so incredibly sad because I think she's adorable and so cute, and I think she had a lot of things to learn on her journey in The Biggest Loser, and I think she definitely went home a little too soon. But luckily, we got to see an update of her, and so far she's lost around 40 pounds, and she's looking gorgeous, and she's training for the marathon. I was hoping that Kate would find a man on the ranch, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Or maybe it will happen. We never know. Now that the show recap's over, you know what we have to do. It is my weigh-in time. Catchy, last week you weighed in at 368.9 pounds. This week you weigh... That's right, this week I've lost 4.7 pounds. Woo, me! I'm happy with that number because, like I said before, so long as I'm losing, I am winning. So that's all we have for this week. Join me next week when I recap the next Biggest Loser. Just a heads up, that recap probably won't be up until Wednesday because I am going to Washington, D.C. for the presidential inauguration. So, wish me luck.